Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today, we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in, and let's start off with this tweet here from Crypto Insight UK. So do you see, question, when did legacy finance ever tell you the truth? But for some reason, now sentiment is so bad, everyone is on the same side. I'm confused. And here we have from BlackRock. They said that, it's time to get ready for a recession unlike any other. And, I even tweeted about this. I said the big names like BlackRock, $10 trillion plus in assets under management, are telling you the biggest recession in history is coming. Do you really think they will make it this easy for you? Expect the opposite, prepare for both scenarios. And basically what this means is, yes, they're saying that the biggest recession in history is coming, and they're saying to expect it pretty quick. I would argue that we will most likely see some crazy moves, not only in the stock market, but also in crypto. And I seen this tweet earlier today by Decode Jar, and it says, is it so inconceivable that the stock market could be bullish from here on out? And we have this overall recovery wave 5 in place from going all the way back to October to now, and essentially we would be putting in the wave 3 next, which would be the 1618, and then we would have the wave 4 and then the wave 5 leading to $5,000, well, 5,000 plus. And when we really kind of look at this, I do believe something like this could happen. Everyone is expecting the same exact outcome. Everything's going to be bearish. It's going to be bearish for the next couple of years. We're going to be, dropping and trading sideways until Bitcoin halving. I said it time and time again that we don't need to follow the Bitcoin halving pattern that everyone has been playing into. Things could happen unlike any other cycle run in the past. Now, would I bet everything on it? No, absolutely not. That's why I said, expect the opposite, prepare for both scenarios. That's why I am holding a significant amount of assets. Also, be in position in stablecoins as well if we do have a massive crash. I do also buy, physical silver and gold. I'm preparing for anything that could happen. I am, making sure that I am prepared either way. So I really do think that as we focus on everything around crypto, the sentiment has been complete trash. Everyone is saying the same exact thing. And even the news, right? Mainstream media has been bearish since I don't even know when, probably the beginning of this year. And now we just seen the Senate banking chairman says that the SEC should ban crypto in the United States, citing national security threat. It's comical that we continue to hear it's a security problem, it's a security threat, this, that, or I love the common one. It's, crypto poses a systemic risk on our financial system. No, what poses a significant, major risk that is systemic is, guess what? Governments massively printing and inflating their fiat currency that is a reserve currency. And yeah, of course, I'm talking about the US dollar. The US dollar has been dropping like crazy lately. One thing that I would love to note right now on the US dollar is this area that we came down to back in June of this year. And we recently just wicked down to it perfectly on December 14th. Currently, I'm watching this fight against all EMAs. Looks like it will have continuation downward on the 3-day span. We could also see this. So it looks very interesting right now. The dollar has been very bearish for the last couple, I would even say weeks. I mean, going all the way back to September of this year, that's when we really kind of topped out. It's been nothing but downtrend. And it's crazy because the market itself is not doing any massive move. You would expect, or you would, anticipate the market to be doing something crazy right now, because when we go back to, the US dollar compared to even the total, right? We know that in the past, so let me clear up the chart real quick for you guys. So we know in the past, going all the way back to, let me go to the 1 month on everything, and we go back to March of 2022, right? So here is March of 2022. That signaled the bottom for crypto. Now, yes, it did take a few months for everything to kind of pump out, but also once we start to see downturn in the dollar, that's when the crypto market went crazy. And right now, as we really focus on things happening around the US dollar, we should technically be pumping. But the issue here is that it almost looks like we're correlated with the US dollar and what the US dollar does. I mean, the last two candles on the total compared to the US dollar have been pretty much spot on. So we're watching this closely. Now, one thing that I've said around the US dollar is that it's massively inflated. So it doesn't need to break significant levels in order for crypto to go crazy. What could that level be? Well, on the monthly support, there's a very strong support on the 102 almost level. This would be about 101.805. This would be the 618. Significant support lies there. I think once we break down below that level, it's game over for the US dollar, and we might actually see crypto and stocks go a little bit, crazy. So that's what I'm watching for. And, around the US dollar, I do say, like many times on this channel, the US dollar, as it is losing its value, very similar to what Black Swan Capitalist is saying over here, we're seeing central banks continue to position themselves for a monetary reset. Yeah, I do think that a monetary reset is coming. I think that when we really kind of focus on the end goal around the US dollar is, what's going to happen next if we do see like the petrodollar deal completely decimated, right? Because after that, the US dollar is basically backed by nothing. And we're already seeing massive changes in the world of finance, and Ripple being in the center has built a bridge between legacy banking and the new financial system using XRP. And we do see how this Ripple partnership will expand the use of XRP for treasury payments. And yeah, at the end of the day, like what we are seeing Ripple position XRP as a bridge currency. And that's always been their goal around XRP. And talking about bridge currencies and talking about things happening, we actually seen over here from Flash FX, which yes is a Ripple partner. We do see we need to do better. RBA Governor Lowe calls on Australia's banks to intensify efforts to reduce payment costs and increase their speed, including for cross-border payments. And yeah, right now, as we really kind of focus on the traditional markets and the traditional payment means, I do think that we need to really push for the next major move and transition away from the legacy system. And I do think that DLT and crypto will be the next frontier around payment technology and the next evolution of payment technology. And it all starts with the end of the U.S. dollar as a dominant currency. I mean, like the U.S. dollar itself has not been strong in a while. Now, as we do see as it loses value, it's also losing massive interest overseas. We start to see the BRICS moving away from it, and now we are starting to see Australia, which, again, going back to Australia intensifying efforts to reduce payment costs and increase their speed. Guess what we just seen? Australia, 134.28 billion sovereign wealth fund, is increasing exposure to gold as it warns the future will echo the low growth, high inflation era of the 1970s. Nobody should be surprised. We are seeing massive amounts of gold being accumulated by these major giants, specifically, even the BRICS and Australia. It's only a matter of time. I've said this time and time again in the past. It's only a matter of time until we move towards a gold-backed system issued out on DLT. I even talked about the special drawing rights, the SDR, the new SDR that would be created from this, how most currencies will be pegged to gold, or I should say all currencies pegged to gold, and how a DLT asset like XRP could facilitate bridging all of those currencies, which would be absolutely monstrous of a use case for XRP if that is the case. But is that going to happen? We have no idea. But one thing is certain. I am paying attention to gold accumulation, and I'm also paying attention to things happening around the US dollar, as well as many of the key areas I talk about, like the BRICS, Australia, the big names around finance. Now, also, I do want to share with you guys about Swift. So Swift is the giant in the room, 11,000 plus financial institutions tied to it. And we do see from XRP Darren, he is quoting Bob Way. Swift GPI was a reaction to Ripple, and we do see GPI was Swift's response to Ripple pitching banks. It was partially my fault because I spent a lot of time talking with Wim and Godfrey at the Bitcoin Amsterdam conference explaining how the XRP ledger worked and how banks can integrate with it. And, the end goal is, realistically speaking, I should say that the end goal is having Swift come to Ripple and say, okay, let's integrate the XRP ledger into our system and facilitate, instant settlement through XRP. Like, that's the end goal. And we do see down here from Anderson, well, according to Swift, GPI would include a range of benefits such as real-time tracking of funds, full visibility of fees, and consistent data records. I know real-time tracking and visibility of funds is something Ripple said Swift lacked. So what's your thoughts on that? The issue here, though, is it solves for rapid payments. That's it. It doesn't solve for rapid settlement. And yeah, they were just, Ripple's talking points. For the most part, I don't think that, Swift is a competitor of Ripple. I really do think that this technology itself is extremely outdated, even with GPI. And I think that Brad Garlinghouse's response to Swift GPI launching was incredible as well. And we do see over here from XRP Speed, this goes all the way back to 2018. Swift time has come. Does that mean the end of Swift? It means that now is the time for Swift to face the inevitable. Swift is old, slow, unreliable, and needs new software. Here comes Ripple and then XRP, which this, like I said, is their goal. Their goal is to have Swift integrate with RippleNet, having XRP be the center point of it to settle, well, I should say, just have XRP plug and play with the Swift system to settle all those payments. That would be an absolute incredible opportunity, not only from an investor perspective, but also as a tech side of things, because it not only revolutionizes Swift's technology, but it leapfrogs them years and years and years ahead in terms of a technological advancement. So it's incredible to say the least, but also, we do see something very interesting over here. So boy_XRP posted this over on Twitter, and he said he underscored the Swift 2.0 talk. So we do see, Chris, we've heard a lot about Ripple Labs lately. Can you tell me about the business model that you're disrupting, if any, out in the market? We do see from Larson. Sure, I'd be happy to. What we're doing with Ripple Protocol and what Ripple Labs is helping to build in the Ripple Protocol is the idea of an internet for value exchange. We see this as a Swift 2.0. The difference here, though, is that they're not trying to compete with Swift. They're not trying to replace Swift. But the inevitable future, when we talk about how much Ripple with XRP and on-demand liquidity is being adopted in, the inevitable future is a future where Ripple overtakes Swift in not only customers, but also transactional value and volume. They don't need to compete with Swift because Swift can't compete with what Ripple has solved. I just talked about this the other day where, Swift basically tried to replicate the XRP ledger, but they couldn't because it needs and it demands a public token like XRP. And this is a big issue for them because they don't want to give up that control. Having a public token gives up a ton of control. They want a private-based token where they are the only ones in control of that. Very similar to what we see right now around the Swift system, which is also another reason why we've seen so many major players moving away from US dollar-backed systems because they don't want to be tied to the US dollar. They don't want the US to have a financial weapon like the US dollar or even the Swift network to utilize against them. So when we look at this, the only way that we will see a full-on digital system, like a digitized system, is where we have a decentralized token at the heart and soul of it, facilitating and settling those transactions, aka being the bridge currency, which I am very, very excited about if that is going to be the case. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night, wherever you guys are on this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.